Immense Monticello location, Dubson Heating and Cooling, and Kirby Medical Center in Monticello.
Hi, Ryan.
We're here for the wedding.
The wedding was a month ago. You were supposed to be my best man.
Told you he'd be upset.
Sorry. See, we were headed to the church when we heard a radio spot for a furniture store.
We really needed new end tables.
And while we were paying for those end tables...
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. Jen heard a radio commercial for a 3-day spa package at a big fancy hotel.
Oh, Ryan, it was so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we're lounging by the pool.
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. I'm listening to a podcast on my phone.
When he hears an ad about a direct flight.
To a resort in the Galapagos Islands.
What?
Again, Ryan? So beautiful.
So beautiful. Anyway, we're just getting ready to fly home, and what do we hear?
Let me guess. A radio commercial.
For a car dealership.
Tell him what we did.
Here's what we did. We bought a car and decided to drive home.
You can't drive home from the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, did we feel foolish when we found that out?
I really thought it would float.
Radio goes where we go. A message from the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station. They brought you this message.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guests in studio today, Mandi, Ries, and Tim Followell with the Neighborhood Care Center. Good morning, Mandi.
Good morning, Seth.
Thanks for coming out. And Tim, good to see you again, my friend. How are you?
I am great. Nice to see you again, Mr. Seth.
Now, has this been a feature since you've been here?
It has.
It has.
Been
Okay.
added,
Okay.
yes.
I couldn't remember when the last time you were in and when
we'll
we started
see if
that.
It survives me being on it. Okay?
That's why I have to point it away from me so it doesn't break, right? Oh man, no. But Mandi, I want to ask you, a big fundraiser for Neighborhood Care Center a few weeks ago. First time trying a gala event. How did it go?
It went really well. Our goal for the evening, we wanted 250 tickets sold, which we sold out. And we were able to host it at a really great venue located in Hayworth. And our goal for the night was to not only bring awareness and raise funds for Neighborhood Care Center, but to have fun. And I think we accomplished that. So, yeah, I think it went really well. And our goal was to raise $20,000, and we ended up raising almost $36,000.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great for sure. Now, what was the night like? Remind us what this was. What made this unique? There were a lot of things I felt like made this a special event.
Yeah. So one of the things when we started talking about what this would look like and kind of casting vision for it, we kind of talked about, we've all been to like a fundraiser or a banquet that felt like a fundraiser or a banquet. And we were going for not a spaghetti dinner in a church basement.
Yeah.
So the goal was to really invite people into the culture of Neighborhood Care Center. So we wanted people to have the opportunity to connect relationally, and to just be together, to have fun, to maybe meet new people. And I think that happened too. I heard from a lot of our mission partners from both our Clinton network and our McLean network that it was like there was a lot of faces I didn't know. And I'm like, me too. There's a lot of people I didn't know either, which was really cool to see, that we had a lot of people inviting and getting the word out. And so there were a lot of people there that had never heard of Neighborhood Care Center.
Yeah, for sure. So you went well over your goal of fundraising.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do you do with those dollars?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely not extra money. We have a budget that we have to hit. And so we kind of set that at the beginning of the year. And then, we just hope that we have enough donations and things to come in and cover it. So the fundraiser really helped us reach, I think will help us reach what our budget is for the year. So that way we can just continue doing the things that we're doing and not have to worry about, do we have the funds available to do it? So, I mean, we definitely still need donors and we need people to give, because there's always going to be needs and things that arise as we continue on our mission.
I know you're a faith-based organization, but at the same time, that's not it's not a requirement for people that take advantage of your service. But I wanted to lead that in to say, even though that's the case, I go back to the fact you are a faith-based organization, and I feel like that speaks to God will provide.
Absolutely.
Those sorts of things. Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we are very faithful in that. We have been very open-handed from the beginning that we believe God is in this, and if he's in it, he will provide those things. And I will tell you, one of the things that we do when we set our budget for the year is we do operate on a fairly small budget. It's about $180,000 for the year, and that includes maintenance and payroll and all of those things. And we really pride ourselves on having every dollar that's given to Neighborhood Care Center, almost 70 cents of it goes back into the communities that we serve. So we really make sure that we don't have a lot of overhead, so that way we don't have to rely on a big budget. And we try to be very good stewards of the non-monetary gifts that we're given, and to really utilize those things well.
Yeah. As you planned and meditated on this event ahead of time, what was your prayer for the event? What did you want to come out of it?
I think, for a variety of reasons, I mean, the big thing was to invite new people in. But I think for our mission partners and people that are involved, I think to see, and maybe Tim can share his thoughts on this, but I think it was eye-opening for each of our networks to realize, like, Neighborhood Care Center is a lot bigger than Clinton. It's a lot bigger than McLean County. And just to be able to see different people from different walks of life. And that was kind of the thing, is we really wanted to drive home, like, this is a network. This is a relational connection that we're trying to build, and it's bigger than any of us.
How do you continue that momentum from that night? Maybe people were introduced to how you operate or opportunities to be involved. How do you continue that momentum from that Saturday night?
Yeah. And so one of the things that we're big on, and we've talked about it here, is small is big. And so part of the goal for that night was, we had our board there, and their goal was to make relational connection with some people. So in that, having conversations, we just met with someone yesterday that we interacted with through Inspire that we're now looking to maybe do something together in the future. She works for an organization that likes to do community outreach. So things like that. And we encouraged our volunteer events, been in communication with people since, like inviting them into what we do.
Sure.
So that's the hope, is that we make small little relational connections that then we can use that to invite people into what we do.
Did I miss anything on your gala you want to put out there for us?
Nope. It was great.
Doing it again next year?
Yep, we will do it again next year. We
Awesome.
are in the process of figuring out the date, and probably back in Hayworth again.
Yeah.
Our hope is,
Okay,
and
sure.
probably April.
All
So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, put it on the radar. That may come back around next year. Hopefully we have a date here soon. Very good. Again, Mandi Ries is the communications director for the Neighborhood Care Center, and she has, as mentioned, has brought Tim Followell with her today. What's Tim doing back in the studio, Mandi? What the heck?
Yeah. So, I know.
They'll teach you not to lock the door.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
There's a reason for locks.
Lock the door, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Tim in here for?
Yeah, I wanted to invite Tim in just to kind of share, one, what he does for Neighborhood Care Center, but we're also going to talk about one of our other values, which is belief in the disciple, not the program.
Okay.
So I think, Tim, can you share, like, how you got connected to Neighborhood Care Center, how long you've been there, what you do?
Yep, definitely could do that. But one short story, and I'm always good for
Short stories, right, yes.
But back on the gala. And it was very touching to myself. There's maybe 250, 300 people. I don't know head count. We weren't worried about head count, but the value of what was coming from that night. And I hadn't been there 10, 15 minutes. Dropped my guest off in the vehicle so they could be front curb service. I would do that for you too. So.
Oh, thank you.
But dropped them off, then went out and parked. And come walking in, da-da-da-da-da, and I said, my wife did get me signed. Yep, nope, you're signed in, you're good. Okay, and as I got in the room and I started looking around, and of course looking for the people I'm with, over in the back corner, a couple of our neighbors. Tim!
Yeah.
That is such heartwarming that I really didn't know them 18 months ago, which leads into how long roughly
Yeah.
I've been doing it. But that's the connections that you cherish. You don't realize you're making, to be honest with you, because you're just talking. And you know I do that, Seth.
Right.
That's
Yeah, you're a good talker.
That's in my game, whether it's good news or not. I'm a talker. But that is one of the things, from my 40-some years of working for the city, I call that community service.
Yeah.
People will disagree, but that's my definition. So I've always considered myself a servant. And the Neighborhood Care Center was just that next window to continue serving, but in a different capacity.
Sure.
It was eye-opening for myself because I thought I knew the community. I knew it from the government side. I didn't know what I'm going to call the personal side.
You knew the people that made the decisions,
Well,
but maybe not the people that
correct.
those decisions
Well,
affected.
and when Cody started asking me, you want to do this? Cody, let's wait a little bit. And why I kept saying that, I told him I didn't want to be a negative to the care center because I came in with a different aura around me coming out of government, and my interrelation with some of the neighbors would have been different
Okay.
from this. And I didn't want to be a bad influence.
Okay.
Totally opposite.
Really?
I was shocked by a lot of the people I did know. Totally different.
Yeah.
Very welcoming, very friendly, and it got me introduced to them a little bit more. And I probably got more out of them than I brought to them in the beginning. So one of the things that was very interesting was becoming part of the group, becoming a mission partner, and part of the group was, what does that mean and how does that feel? And the neighbors actually did more teaching to me in the beginning than I did. I was just trying to be that friendly face and continue to serve.
So what did you do initially with the care center?
Whenever they asked, because it is, and as Mandi hinted to, and part of the gala was to introduce other people to what we do and how they can get involved. We're always looking for help. We're always looking for new volunteers. And that's not just manpower driven. That's spiritual driven, thought driven, other emphasis out of it, which is the more valued thing. Yes, I politely tagged a couple on the shoulder and said, I think this will work good for you.
Yeah.
I think you do enough for the community already. I know you can do this. And you bring a different aspect. And that's how I view getting into it from the overall servant, because there's a lot of us lifetime servants out there, whether it's city government, school, county, doesn't matter what it is. We've all been in service in a roundabout way.
Right.
And it's continue that more on a biblical side.
Yeah.
That we should have been doing anyway.
Have you latched onto a program or anything within the care center that you've been getting into
Well,
lately?
good or bad, I am now the food transportation coordinator. That's Tim giving himself a title. But I am the coordinator for that. So
Okay.
it's tag, it's yours.
Yeah.
And
What does that require you doing?
well, it requires me making sure I sign up on the given date and time up at Midwest Food, up in Bloomington Normal, to get in the program, because they are part of the program, but you got to constantly be signing up every week to get your time slot.
Okay.
And
Oh,
time
yeah.
slots is very, very important, because without that, had big effect on the food distribution side.
Yeah. Now, are you bringing stuff from Midwest Food Bank back here and then
week,
distributing it
every
out?
week they're there right now as we're talking.
Okay.
The pickup,
Oh, I see.
Pickup
Yeah.
time was 8:30 this morning, so he will be coming back in at about 10 o'clock,
Okay.
give or take, and then the dozen or so volunteers, which I'm supposed to be one of them right now also,
Yeah.
at the care center, are starting to set up for today's shop, as well as when the new produce comes in, getting that set up, distributed, and ready, or stuck away in the refrigerator for a little bit.
Okay.
Because we are Tuesday and Thursday here in Clinton, Wednesday in Hayworth, and then this is the part I'm going to butcher, and I'm going to ask Miss Ries to join in on this one. We always do a Tuesday afternoon.
Huddle?
No, Tuesday evening shopping.
Oh, extended evening hours.
Which date?
The first and third Tuesday
There
of
you
the
go.
month.
That's what
There
I
you
can
go.
never get down pat.
All right. So that one is actually coming up this week.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Very good. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's take a break here and come back and hear more from Tim and Mandi. Mandi, how do folks learn more about all things Neighborhood Care Center?
So you can follow us on social media, or you can find us at neighborhoodcarecenter.net.
Again, that is Mandi Ries and Tim Followell with the Neighborhood Care Center in studio with us. More to come on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network. Corn starting the day steady, beans lower, and wheat slightly lower. May corn opening 438 3/4, down half a penny. July corn down 448 1/4, and new crop December 472 1/4, down half a penny. May beans 11.57, down 3 3/4. July beans down 11.78. And new crop November 11.74 1/2, down 3 1/2. May Chicago wheat 5.84 3/4, down 5 1/2. July wheat 6.04 1/4, down 4 1/4. September wheat 6.26 1/4, down 3 1/4. May bean meal 351.80, that's up 3.50. May bean oil 42.39, down $1.30. Opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Here's another Clinton Save-A-Lot satisfied customer.
Clarissa from Weldon. Actually from Bloomington, from work. It's on our way home because Bloomington just seems to be higher priced. So I come here when I can. If I absolutely have to, I'll shop in Bloomington, but I prefer to come here. The selection, I like the new store. It's clean. Everyone's friendly. It's very nice. I needed the Reams noodles. I was going to make chicken and noodles, and I couldn't find them, so I asked, and I went to a huge box.
And his owner, Dave Jackson, says,
"We hope to see you soon." Allergy season is here, and our Warner Hospital and Health Services walk-in clinic inside our family medicine is here to help. No appointment, no problem. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Ramey Miller from Run Deep Coaching. Take your power back. I do holistic personal and business coaching. My service is virtual, so we can visit no matter where you are. Find out more by clicking my icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, in studio with us today is Mandi Ries and Tim Followell with the Neighborhood Care Center. And Mandi, we bring in Tim today to kind of speak to one of the values of the Neighborhood Care Center, and it's about the disciple, not the program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
You did say that right.
Yeah, so speak to this a little bit.
Yeah, so one of our values is we believe in the disciple, not the program. And essentially what that means is we believe in people. It's so easy for nonprofits or social agencies to really focus on what they do instead of why they do it. Mm-hmm. And for us, the people is our why. Mm-hmm. So we believe, if we're going to support and inspire people to reach their God-given potential, it's not going to be through Neighborhood Market. Mm-hmm. It's going to be through our mission partners who help facilitate Neighborhood Market. Mm-hmm. It's the people that are going to help everyone reach their full potential. Whether you're a neighbor, a mission partner, it's for everyone.
Yeah. Now, how have you seen this particularly in Tim?
Oh, I think for Tim, and he kind of elaborated on it, having worked in the city for so long, I think you can have an idea or assumption about people or about things. And I think for him in his retirement and serving at the care center, he has been able to maybe see the city of Clinton in a different light and to see his community in a different way. And it's not... and I don't think he felt this way, but I think a lot of people can look at things like Neighborhood Care Center as just a handout. Mm-hmm. And the reality is there are some people who do treat it as a handout. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I think what you will find is that is the minority. But we often think it's the majority.
Yeah.
So I think what he's probably realized, and I think what I've realized through the Neighborhood Care Center, is the majority of people really want to be supported and inspired, that they want to be in relationship with people, and the care centers become more than food for a lot of them.
Yeah.
We shared on social media a few weeks ago, but there's Kim and Carol. Kim and Carol did not know each other before Neighborhood Care Center. They met at Neighborhood Care Center. They're right now, they're probably sitting outside Neighborhood Care Center on the benches talking. They show up early to spend time together because they became friends. And Carol's husband does not call Tuesdays. It's Kim Day.
She goes to see her.
Yeah. And that's just because Neighborhood Care Center was there to facilitate that. It's nothing we did, but we gave them a space to connect and to get to know each other. And now they've supported each other through really hard circumstances, and they're friends in Neighborhood Care Center, but they're friends outside of Neighborhood Care Center.
How have you seen that, Tim?
Well, I was going to go down the same path because just featuring those two ladies and it's not really unique per se, because there's a lot of connection like that. It's amazing to watch that community. And I call it a community because they are really a niche little group when they come in on Tuesdays. And yes, because some of them start showing early because communication is a thriving thing. And it's a thing that they all gain a little bit of the discipleship from each other. I've gained that from some of them that I never thought of. And let's use you as an example, Seth. I don't want to bring you into this, but we haven't talked for a while.
Right.
And you had a question to ask me when I got here. Nothing wrong with that. So do they. And that's where I thought my job that I had left was history. But yet you get that question on occasion because at least I think I'm still a warm, friendly person that will answer them like I always do. When you ask me, you always answer phone calls. Yes, I always answer phone calls. That is me. But that is what's led to this being such a unique serviceability, not only for me to help serve, but to learn from.
Yeah, right.
One of the stories I gave was Laura Conheady. Okay, and a lot of people in town know Laura. Laura and I first met because I was on the job and she was helping a lady in town. And I was on the other side of trying to get the situation under control. So we met from different sides of it, but found a unique way to work together to help get a problem taken care of, but yet walk her through it that actually led her to a better place.
Yeah.
That's kind of the message that the care center brings in the discipleship to people, is trying to help get them to a different thing. Last week, I believe it was a rainy Tuesday, and it was going to be my first day of, wow, wonder how this will go. It was amazing because Tim was Tim, all right? Had my raincoat on, just protect, had my umbrella, and every time we started, because part of my volunteering, I wanted to say job, but it's not a
it's not a job, yeah,
was to help them get to their car. Because a lot of our neighbors really have some issues that getting a grocery cart out, getting it unloaded, then I got to get it back, is not something they can handle, and they shouldn't handle. But it was interesting watching them all when we stepped out, and I go, well, here, the umbrella's for you. I got this. You take care of you.
Right.
That's that part, I think, of discipleship that we're trying to show. It's not about the program. It's trying to help you through a situation. And that moment was the weather.
Yeah. One thing I was hoping you would go to, and I wonder if you see this at all, you talked about the connections people make. Does that keep them coming back? Hands down.
Yeah. I think so. And that's the reason I use the word community. I think that connection in that core community keeps them, they look forward to that visit. They may not see each other except on Tuesday. And that is an important day to them for social events. And that's a great thing, not even a good thing. And that's been some of the eye-opening for the outside people, being me, coming in, that you didn't think about that connection. Yes, I did the same thing everybody else did. It's about food. It's not. And even most of the partners realize it's not.
Right. I have to let you guys go. Mandi, what's the best way for folks to learn about all things Neighborhood Care Center?
Yeah, you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram or neighborhoodcarecenter.net.
Easy enough. Thanks for coming out today, guys. Again, that is Mandi Ries. She is the Communications Director for the Neighborhood Care Center, and Tim Followell, one of their mission partners in the community, in studio with us for today. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way.